Valve, the creators of Steam, decided to randomly drop a new VR headset, a PC box, it literally looks like a box, and a controller. I'm very interested. This might be Tiny's first PC.
Today. The Steam Frame
depending on how much it costs.
That's going to have to be a separate video. This one focusing on the new Steam Machine, and yes, the wait is finally over, the 2026 edition Steam controller.
I'm gonna be honest, that controller does not look like it. That does not look it. Look at this shit. Bro, this looks like the most uncomfortable controller possible. Look at this. I'm sorry, Valve makes a lot of good technology, but this controller's not it.
The new Steam Machine, and yes, the wait is finally over.
That controller is not it.
Edition Steam controller. Let's start with a little history. Over 10 years ago, Valve announced their first version of SteamOS, a Linux-based operating system that would free gamers
this thing
from the
crashed, by
shackles
the way.
of Microsoft Windows. No, it was a total commercial flop.
Yep.
But instead of giving up on Steam machines, Valve doubled down, working with game developers.
I really hope this is good. I want to know what's inside of it.
With open source developers on the Proton compatibility.
If this is an affordable PC, a PC box that everybody can buy, like, this is a huge jump. I think this is good because Valve, like, I don't know, the first thing that they made was actually terrible.
Out of the box compatible with thousands of Steam games, even ones that only ever shipped on Windows. The Steam Deck is believed to have sold millions.
Yeah, I heard this is really good. The Steam Deck.
No wonder,
I don't have one,
great
but
balance of solid gaming and outstanding.
I think Ecliptical has one. Yo, Eclipse, is the Steam Deck actually really good?
But its mobile form factor has given it certain limitations and left gamers hungry for something more substantial. And well, here it is. I'm calling it the Lunchbox. 1, because it's substantial, like lunch. 2, because it's cube-shaped, like a box.
It is a really small box. I'm surprised it's that small.
Eat Xbox's lunch. Okay, that last one was a bit of a reach. But not as far as I'm reaching for this segue.
Yo, no, no sponsor here, buddy. But yo, isn't
typical Valve?
Isn't Xbox not doing anything anymore for like consoles?
Fashion. They've been atypically open about the new Steam Machine, giving us direct access to the engineering folks who worked on these devices. The only thing I didn't have today is a 6-core AMD Zen 4-based CPU that turbos up to 4.8 gigahertz with 16 gigs of RAM and an 8 gig GPU that they compared to a 7600 XT-ish. But they were also quick to point out that it might not be apples to apples thanks to their custom software stack and power tuning. Basically, the goal was that pretty much anything on Steam should run at 4K 60 FPS if you're willing to turn down the details and use a little bit of FSR upscaling. And we saw that on display with Cyberpunk running in the demo room at
it does 4K and it does 60 frames per second if you turn down the graphics a bit.
Says to expect about 6 times the performance of the Steam Deck. Now, I was a little surprised to not see an SoC with shared memory, but apparently the decision to go for discrete CPU and GPU came down to balancing cost, power, size, and performance, and also they just didn't feel like they needed to.
That's what I'm watching.
What is the price?
Valve was right, because they nailed this thing. Compared to a more traditional ITX small form factor machine, like the OG Steam Machine reference design, you can see that
Cheese please
a lot
help
smaller.
Me.
More on par
I can't help
highly integrated design, like something like the Framework Desktop. Investment disclosure. Like the Framework Desktop, Valve allows customization of
what I'm curious about is what's in it.
And they're going to provide the CAD files.
And how it works.
Whatever your heart desires on here. They even had a machine in the demo room with an e-ink display that was showing system vitals. Pretty darn cool. But unlike the Framework, it has a programmable RGB strip in the front that could be used to personalize your style or maybe show a progress bar while you switch your TV input and wait for your game to be downloaded. The sky's kind of the limit.
Is it a computer or is it a gaming computer?
Micro SD slot, 2 USB 3 5 gigabit per second ports. Then the rest of the I/O is in the back, where you'll find 2 USB 2 Type A ports, a USB-C 10 gigabit per second port, no display port on there, that is worth noting, gigabit Ethernet, power in for the integrated power supply. Good gravy, this thing is compact, as well as an HDMI 2.0 and DisplayPort 1.4 port. It is worth noting that HDMI 2.0 port, they have tested.
Why would you want to? Why would you want to do that?
But there are a couple of
you got some business with me or what?
So they can't call it HDMI 2.1. Also at the back, we have a large 120mm cooling fan that draws air from both the intake on the bottom.
I mean, for a computer, this is pretty compact. I mean, yes, you can get smaller in technology. You can make a smaller computer. But I think this is like the perfect size.
As well as the large heatsink on the front.
That is a large heatsink.
We're going to crack this thing fully open in a sec. But first, I want to talk about the Steam controller. No, not that Steam controller. The new one. With the exact same
Dude,
name.
I'm sorry, but this controller is not fucking it.
I made my case to Valve that this is unnecessarily confusing. No, they're not going to change it. The good news is Valve learned a lot from
So he talked to them about the controller and they said no and doubled down. Dude, I'm sorry, but this controller is not fucking it.
This appears to be their most complete offering ever. To be fair, the original was really cool. I mean, it made non-controller games finally playable from the couch, thanks to their innovative haptic touchpad. They also
it's a scroll wheel, or like a mouse.
Games with gesture control, or like swiping with momentum. But they also turned off a lot.
You can get your first PC right here, Tiny. Steam.
Efficiency of traditional
Steam is making them, what's it called? Their first PC.
Now. The Steam controller is everything that is great about the controller on the Steam Deck.
But we don't talk about it.
But usable when your Steam Deck is in docked mode or with your Steam machine.
An actual PC, not like a fucking laptop.
Investment disclosure. On the surface, it offers up a conventional ABXY button layout with a PlayStation-style symmetric joystick design that will work seamlessly out of the box with basically any game. The trackpads have been repositioned to better accommodate the arm's natural position while holding a smaller device compared to the
I don't think those trackpads are it, man.
All of the usual
they just need to take it off. Make it an attachment. Yo, hire me for Steam. Make it an attachment like the old Xbox 360 controllers. Like, you got your PlayStation, right? You got your controller, and then you attach it to the bottom if you want them, but it's not there naturally.
For opening the menu, their quick access button for bringing up the SteamOS overlay, 4 rear programmable buttons.
Okay, so they got
are
paddles?
satisfying with a nice amount of resistance, and the D-pad has been tuned from the Steam Deck for better feel. It feels okay to me, but I only got a couple minutes with it before Valve blew my mind. The joysticks are next-generation TMR or tunneling magnetoresistant joysticks, boasting superior accuracy and durability even compared to Hall effect joysticks. And the controller has been designed from the ground.
Okay, so they're not Hall effects, but they're decently close, so it's like a middle ground.
Up for a superior gyroscopic aiming or mousing experience with capacitive thumbsticks and even capacitive grips, so you can configure your gyro to enable or disable depending on whether you put your thumb on the stick or even by simply loosening your grip, say to recenter and then reactivate gyroscopic aiming.
I don't like gyroscopic anything.
Showing how you can use the game's built-in controller compatibility like a pleb, or hear me out. Trackpads with the right for movement and the left one split down the middle for left and right click. Or, hear me out again, gyro mouse using the face buttons for clicks. And if you don't care about gyro aiming,
I don't like any of this stuff.
Mappable as well.
I don't like any of that gyro stuff.
Let's go even deeper. In addition to the haptic texture-like feedback that you know and love from Valve's previous touchpads, the Steam controller has been upgraded with large rumble motors for better immersion and a large battery that they claim should be good for 35 hours in the most demanding applications.
Let's grind tonight, the rivals push for eternity.
Yo, 35-hour lifespan for the battery?
Has been upgraded with large rumble motors for better immersion and a large battery that they claim should be good for 35 hours in the most demanding applications, and even better if you don't need quite as much rumble. But I haven't even talked about the best part.
Yo, that's with rumble. When most people say battery life, they're usually not talking about the maximum volume or anything like that for anything. So the fact that that's 35 with rumble is actually really good. But the controller is shit, unfortunately.
If you've ever gamed over Bluetooth, you know that it can be inconsistent at best. Valve's solution?
Yes.
The puck. Every Steam controller comes with a wireless dongle that clips magnetically to the Steam controller using a couple of nice, strong alignment magnets. And it uses a proprietary 2.4 gigahertz wireless interface that Valve claims is good for about 8 milliseconds end-to-end latency and offers up superior resiliency when you're using multiple controllers. It allows 4 controllers per puck, so that's not as good as the Xbox dongle.
Wait, so it's wireless already, but if you want improved connection, you can use your puck, and it uses it to charge your controller too?
Which can do 8, but Valve has tested up to 4 pucks on a single system for a maximum of 16 players, meaning that you're probably going to run out of seats on your couch before you run out of controller compatibility. The last chef kiss on top is an IR emitter that's cozied up beside the power LED to help you find your controller when you're in VR. I love it. Now let's get back to the Steam machine who gotten naked.
Okay, this controller on paper looks and it sounds really good, right? But my issue with the controller is those track pads, man. Like, just take them off and the controller would be perfect.
I love it. Now let's get back to the Steam machine who gotten naked while we were busy. Oh, you. While Valve's goal was to build something that is zero hassle,
Latinx fam, let's hop on Rivals.
They really were laser focused on a console-like experience with quick suspend and resume and modern standby so that your games are already updated when you sit down to play. They also fully acknowledge
it has modern standby?
Guilty, who are tinkerers, and they've come up with an ingenious design for this thing that allows it to cater to both audiences. In advance, no, you're not going to be swapping out the BGA soldered processors. But what you can do is upgrade the storage with next to no hassle to a 2230 or larger 2280 sized M.2 drive. And while we couldn't go that deep today, Valve also confirmed that the memory uses standard SODIMM slots. Finally, while Valve hasn't actually told iFixit that this product is coming yet, they did say that they're hoping to continue their partnership that they've had on the Steam Deck, making replacement parts available for end users. Awesome.
Okay, that's
Since
good.
we're in here, by the way, there are some really cool details that I'd love to highlight. The power supply, for one thing, is fully integrated to the point where it's actually part of the chassis, and the cooling solution pulls air directly through it, which avoids any need for it to have its own fan. The aforementioned Delta cooling fan is actually slightly thicker than the standard 25mm for extra static pressure, and it includes antenna mounts that are integrated into it, along with I/O mounts. Cool, right? Oh, this is actually a great look at the 4 antennas. So this is the back of the device, where you have your 2 antennas for Wi-Fi 6E. Then if we flip it around to the front, we've got 1 antenna for Bluetooth peripherals and another one that is dedicated to your Steam controller or controllers. So that controller is actually extra.
Yo, that's actually really good.
Next to your couch for charging. A major question mark, though, is of course price. Valve was
Okay, here's the big thing. If this is within the $500 to $700 range, this is really good. Just saying.
Wasn't able to give any specific numbers due to rapidly evolving market conditions, but they will obviously have it nailed down when the Steam machine launches in Q1 2026 alongside the new Steam controller.
You can just color it. The front panel comes off.
Though. They said that while they expect it to be very competitively priced with a PC, that it will be priced like a PC, rather than like a console with games subsidizing the upfront hardware purchase.
I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, I guess it is a computer, but it should be on the lower end. Because it's like, my issue with stuff like this is good. Everything that he's saying is good, and it seems like an overall good price because it is a computer. But the thing is, with stuff like this, you can't change any parts if you wanted to.
They wouldn't say why, but if I had to guess, I'd say it's partially to avoid stepping on the margin opportunities of their potential partners for Steam games and Steam software, but also because they recognize that the Steam machine is a full-fledged PC, capable of being used as a full-fledged PC. There's no guarantee then that, say, a corporate purchase of 10,000 of these things would result in a single game sale. So they really do need to protect the sustainability
Please send me
of
some
their
chicken
business.
soup, I'm sick.
Another major question mark is, where the heck is standalone SteamOS for custom PC builders? Well, we aren't going to get a formal SteamOS release for BYO hardware configurations anytime soon.
I mean, they're just going to use...
has expanded the list of supported third-party devices, and they have supported installing the Steam Deck
I thought they were just going to
on AMD CPU
all of it.
and GPU systems for some time, and recently updated it to support their latest Zen 5 and RDNA 4 architecture processors. So nothing prevents you from building your own Steam machine and installing the software for free. But you may miss out on some things. HDMI CEC control, for instance, required Valve to build a custom motherboard in order to have your computer turn on alongside your AV receiver. And to get that on a BYO PC would require some serious cooperation between hardware makers that
it's not going to happen on that box.
I don't know if we should hold our breath for.
Yeah.
But the bulk of the experience should work pretty much out of the box. We may even get a release that supports a broader range of hardware in the future. But the vibe I'm picking up on around here is that it really depends on better support for Intel and especially NVIDIA GPUs. I'm also picking up this vibe to our sponsor.
All right, so overall, this is going to be crazy. This I think the Steam machine is actually going to be good. The controller on paper is good, but dude, I'm sorry to say it, but this touchpad is not fucking it. This shit is not it. I'm not gonna lie.